Sitio Carajume is hardly the safest place to stay, as the Philippine Institute of Volcanology finds out the remote mountainous area in San Jose del Monte, Bulacan is along the West Valley Fault. The sitio has an elementary school extension building, but FIVOLCS recommended its closure as it is sitting on top of the fault. It won't be able to withstand the so-called big one, or what experts measure at a magnitude 7.2 earthquake. The students had to share old rooms when the extension building was closed.
So yung tatlong classroom po, hinati po sa dalawa-dalawa para po maging 6 at makasapat po sa classroom na kinakailangan po ng mga bata. Para po matiyak na safe po yung mga bata sa anumang posibleng mangyari.
Despite the warning, residents like Carmen Lanes are staying put since there's no formal order from the government to vacate. Her house is just beside the abandoned school.
Medyo may takot din, pero tinitiwala na lang namin kay Lord. Kung talagang may na palipatin at kung may lilipatan, bakit hindi?
Sitio Carajume is in a danger zone and its structures are among the more than 1 million homes and buildings that could collapse in a major earthquake in and around Metro Manila. Of the more than 1.3 million residential structures, nearly 170,000 houses, or 13%, could suffer heavy damage, based on the 2004 Metro Manila Earthquake Impact Reduction Study. Up to 10% of public buildings and nearly 13% of middle and high-rise private buildings could suffer the same fate. Estimated deaths on the spot, 33,500, and more than 113,600 injured. FIVOLCS points out massive structural damage would cause widespread deaths.
It's the collapses of some buildings and also how people will react. We can use science and engineering-based modeling to anticipate what can happen in the future, and if we see what can happen, then we can prescribe better the solutions to it.
According to FIVOLCS, the West Valley Fault moves roughly every 400 to 600 years. Its last major movement was in 1658, or 359 years ago. The 100-kilometer fault traverses 7 cities in Metro Manila and nearby provinces. Barangay Rosario is the second biggest barangay here in Pasig City in terms of land area. FIVOLCS identified it as among the barangays which could experience the most number of collapsed buildings and in turn suffer the most casualties should the big one occur. Some portions of the barangay are less than 2 kilometers from the West Valley Fault. Barangay officials say some structures are nearly 40 years old. Authorities hold regular earthquake drills and disaster officers are employed full-time.
Quarterly yung namin training din para at least kailangan the least people na makitaan ng tao ng panic is us.
According to the Association of Structural Engineers of the Philippines, old buildings discounted the location of active faults. That's because the National Structural Code only had specific data for active faults in its 2001 version. Ruth Cabal, CNN Philippines.